What is happening, Magnus? So, I hear that a producer of Mortal Kombat 2 has an issue with the bad reviews that it has gotten from some movie critics. A lot of that rhymed. Don't wait to play the game. Bars! Album dropping next week. Now, let's take a look at what this person had to say. I find it interesting because I didn't like the movie. I thought it was, for the most part, hot garbage with some moments of shine through there. So, I grew up in the 80s and 90s when these games came out. I'm very familiar with the original lore, and they changed some things that didn't work for me as a hardcore fan back then, you know. And I've played the majority of the games. So, you know, I'm a true fan of the franchise. Some people are going to like some changes. Some people are not. Like, for instance, some changes really do work. Christopher Nolan changed Bane's lore, and he changed the Joker's lore. Okay? They worked. Sometimes it works for some fans. Sometimes it doesn't work for some fans. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, it says right here, at least one person involved in the making of Mortal Kombat 2 isn't happy with the critics who have given negative takes on the sequel. In the theaters now, the movie serves as the sequel to 2021's Mortal Kombat, as well as an adaptation of the very popular video game property of the same name. Despite things looking good, both critically and commercially, though, producer Todd Garner still has a bone to pick. Garner, who produced both box office hits such as Kevin James and Mall Cop, and all-time critical, Master of Disguise, and to share his misgivings about some of the reviews of Mortal Kombat 2. As Garner sees it, some of the critics aren't even qualified to be reviewing the movie. Here's what he had to say. And before I look at his quote, here's a thing to think about. I think that, and I've heard other movie reviewers basically talk about this. If you're making a movie that's just for the fans, then you're going to lose the normies. They're not going to get it, or they're not going to understand. If you're making a movie that's just for the normies, then the fans are going to be angry at you. So you got to do something in the middle to where you can grasp both of them. You're still going to lose people, but if you can really get the normies and the fans on board, you're good to go. Now, I've watched several reviews. There's plenty of people that actually like this, okay? And there's plenty of people that don't. I've seen other YouTubers talking about they don't like it either. Now, my homeboy, I told you, he wrote me. No, he didn't write me. He sent me a voice message saying that he saw the test screening and he said that he thought that I would like it. However, I'm not going to like the ending, and they need to change the ending. He told me at the end of the test screening, he was one of the people that approached them and told them, you need to change the ending. If you're familiar with the original lore of Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang is their Mario, okay? He's Mario, and they've made him a side character like he's fucking Toad, okay? He's not Toad. He's Mario, okay? And he's the one that defeated Goro and Shang Tsung in the first one. He defeated Kentaro and Shao Kahn. And he defeated Shao Kahn in the third one. So the first, the second, and the third. After that, I stopped really following the lore. But he's their champ. And now he's their god in Mortal Kombat 1. Okay? What are they doing? Okay, so for a guy that's kind of a purist in certain, ways for certain things, I can't stand when they deviate from certain things. They did it with the Street Fighter series. Guile is not the main character. It's Ryu or Ryu. Okay. And they keep doing it over and over and over again. It looks in this one, though, this new one, that he may still be the main character. So that's good. So that's good. But it still looks campy and stupid. And while Street Fighter has camp and comedy in it, its story is not camp and stupid. Neither is Mortal Kombat. As a matter of fact, Mortal Kombat's story is way more dark and serious and the stakes are higher than Street Fighter. And they still made it into a campy hodgepodge of comedic this and stupid that. And like I said, some of it had shining moments. The fight between Kung Lao and Liu Kang was really good. And as far as comic relief went, Kano did really well. Although Kano was never a funny character until the 95 movie came out in 95, was it? Until it came out. He was funny in that movie with I think he had the Aussie accent, and they've continued to kind of keep that character in everything. But originally he wasn't funny. But that change actually worked with Kano. So it is what it is. Let me see what he had to say. Some of these reviews are cracking me up. It's clear they have never played the game. Well, I have. I've played almost all of them. And have no idea what the fans really want. I'm a fan and I know what I want. Or any of the rules, canon. Oh, I definitely know the canon. Mortal Kombat. One reviewer was mad that the guy had a laser eye. Like, why the F? Well, yeah. Then you don't know Kano then. Why the F do we still allow people that don't have any love of the genre to review these movies? Baffling. So I remember when I was younger, coming up, that was a fatality that they wanted to give to Kano. Like, the fans wanted that, and they eventually gave it to us. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, he's mad about this. I get that. However, it's one of those things where it's like, you got to make the movie for both. You know what I mean? You got to somehow intertwine. Or when you're marketing it, you need to keep letting it be known, this is a movie for the fans. It needs to be known. That way, people that aren't fans, they don't have to go exactly. You know what I'm saying? But there are certain things the normies aren't going to know. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm not the guy that's always like, oh, you didn't know that? Pick up a comic book. Oh, you didn't know that? Why don't you play the game? Because I understand that not everybody has seen everything. And they don't exactly have to go and play the game to like the movie. They don't. Or to understand the movie. Like, for example, Marvel made me fans of Thor, of Iron Man, of Ant-Man, just to name 3, right? Because I didn't give about them in the comics. They didn't work for me. They didn't. So, in watching the movies, they told the story well enough and built the characters well enough for me to enjoy it and eventually love those characters. You know what I'm saying? So, it's all in the execution of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So I was a normie for Thor. I was a normie for Iron Man. I was a normie for Ant-Man, but I ended up loving those characters. The movie brought me in by telling the story properly. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. There's a lot to be said in the light of the comments. For one, the sequel has largely been met with positive response. It holds a decent 68 critical approval on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a 90% audience rating. It's been viewed by and large as a big improvement over. Yeah, it was better than the first one. It was better than the first one, and people kept asking me, is it better than Annihilation? Yes, of course. I mean, anything's better than Annihilation. You know what I don't like? I haven't seen Raiden fight. Did he fight in the first? He fought in Annihilation, right? But he didn't fight in the first one, did he? I only saw it once, so I forgot. I need y'all to jog my memory. If he did fight in the first one, then I'm okay. I'm cool. Raiden was one of my favorite characters in the lore, and he's one of my favorite characters to use. So, he's their guide, but he's also part of the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't let, or if you don't want to put him in the tournament because he's a god, like I get that, then have him fight other gods or somebody that's near or close to his level. Do something. You know what I'm saying? I love Raiden, and I really don't, I don't get no justification for him. You know, it sucks as a Raiden fan. You know, so I mean, I don't even need to keep finishing. I don't need to finish this article. That's where we are with it. You got to make it for both. Tell the story right. And I think that it'll work out, you know, and, you know, I'm not a guy that's, I don't think I've ever felt this way, but some people have the term where they're always like, yeah, it's just to turn your brain off. And, you know, I'm not like that. You know, I want to be entertained, but I don't feel as though it's justified that I need to turn my brain off to watch something. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as it entertains me properly, I can go for a nice slow burn, good story. I can go for rock'em sock'em robots action, you know, but still things need to make sense to me. You know what I mean? So the movie is what it is. And side note, I'm not other YouTubers, and other YouTubers aren't me. I don't have to agree with them. You know what I mean? That is the weirdest thing that I get with doing reviews. And it happens like vice versa. So if I like something and other YouTubers don't like it that review movies, they will be in their comments, well, Tyrone Magnus like it. What's wrong with you? And vice versa. They come to me if I don't like something and someone else liked it. Like, oh, Jeremy Johns liked it. Oh, why didn't you? What's wrong with you? Like, me and Jeremy are the same guy. Do we look the same at all? Okay, we're not the same person. We live in different states, different houses. Okay, deal with different women. Okay, grew up differently. While we like a lot of the same movies, we're not the same person. We're allowed to have different opinions. It's got to be children or teenagers or somebody doesn't think critically that's not getting it. Like, just because like Critical Drinker or Neurotic or Eric July or like certain YouTubers that, you know, I have been friendly with or cool with, you know what I'm saying? They think that we all have to like something. And if one of us in this so-called sphere that are all grouped in together, if one of us doesn't agree with what the other said, all of a sudden somehow we're out of the narrative. What's wrong with us? We're not saying that we like it like they do. Like, it's one of the weirdest, strangest things about being a YouTuber. So if any of you ever get into YouTube, just remember, no matter what you're doing, if you don't like something or you have a different train of thought about something, like I remember the Hodge twins, they started intermittent fasting. That was a big problem in the fitness community when people first started doing it. Some people were for it and some people weren't. They said, I remember this video. They were like, we lost 100,000 subscribers because they didn't like the fact that we were intermittent fasting. Blew my mind, the insanity behind that. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? So post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. 10 million subscribers. Woo!